Grand Rising, loves. Me and Stubby are here on the sofa doing an early morning Q&A today. And I've noticed a lot of people have been posting on their social, like Mercury retrograde, flat tire, broken computer, printer's not working, deals fell through, loved ones in hospital, huge car repair, just all kinds of stuff happening for people. And in particular, someone was like, okay, I've been working on my mindset. I've been doing the work. I've been writing down my goals. I've been connecting in meditation. I've been, taking inspired action. I've been, tweaking my thoughts and my beliefs and my actions, and to really harness my belief that I'm here to fulfill my divine purpose and that I can be or do or have anything I want. And I believe that, and I know it to be true, and I'm actively on that path of fulfilling who I truly am in my heart. But then this happened, and now I'm plummeting down the emotional scale, and I'm afraid of what's going to be next, and I'm pissed off that this went wrong, and I'm scared that I'm going to, get sicker or lose my loved one or not have a vehicle and not be able to see my kids, or, on and on and on, right? Because it's our survival instinct immediately that kicks in when something in our life goes south. That kicks in, that root chakra locks up and is like, okay, we're going to fight for you and protect you, and it's a competition, and it's a life or death battle. And most of the time, for most people who are watching, me on a phone or a computer, for most of us, it's not actually a life or death situation, right? And we have to be cognizant, like, okay, I feel the feelings. I feel my stomach tightening up. I feel my heart beating faster. I feel my brain going crazy. I feel my muscles in my body tense up. I'm getting eczema or acne, and all of these reactions are happening in my body because my ego and my survival system, my reptilian brain is like, I'm going to protect you now, and we're going to lock it down. And that's totally natural. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally to be expected. And we can move through it. And we can move through it and be okay. And I can say this because I've moved through it and been okay. I'm not sitting on a pedestal saying this from a perspective of none of that stuff has ever happened to me. It's all happened to me. It's all happened to me. Missed project deadlines. Lost my house, lost my car, car broke down, couldn't see my kids, had to rely on my ex-husband to make sure that I could see my kids. All of those things have happened to me, been sick, had loved ones in the hospital and feared their deaths, It's all happened to me too. So I'm not preaching at you from a place of, I have no experience in this, but here's what I've heard. I've been there. But here's also what I've learned is that, when you get a fresh balloon and, the little kids are like, hey, we blew up my balloon. What do? Do you just put it in your mouth and start blowing on it? Probably not. Most people who've ever blown up more than one balloon will take the balloon and they will start pulling on it and stretching it and, moving the latex around in their hands, warming it up, expanding it. They might blow a little and then do that a little bit more, because why? When you do that, when you help the balloon prepare for expansion, then when you go to blow on it, you're not going to bust your lung out. It's going to blow up so much smoother, right? It's just going to blow right up as big and beautiful as it can blow, because you've worked it and you've helped it contract and you've helped it stretch, and now it's ready to expand. And life is kind of like that, right? So yesterday, someone messaged me and said, okay, Everything was going great. Like I said in the beginning, blah, 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 blah. Now I have this huge $8,000 expense. And this is knocking everything that I've worked toward off the table. All that I've manifested, all that I'm working toward, this travel that I have planned, these events that I have planned, these things that I was going to purchase for my business, and I have to have this. And I'm crushed, So what do? The question was, what am I doing wrong? And the answer is, you're not doing anything wrong. Your body, your human body, is reverting back to survive, to save your ass, right? But it's okay, because you have divine soul. You have enlightened spirit. You have a third eye that is so wise and connected beyond the human body and beyond this earthly realm that it's okay. It's okay. So the first step is, calm yourself. Nurture this body. Just spend a little bit of time honoring those emotions. Journal it, talk about it. I find that for a lot of people, actually, like talking through things, your word is your wand, right? So talking through things out loud. And if it makes you feel crazy to talk out loud to yourself, imagine that you're talking to a loved one, a past loved one, an ancestor. Imagine that you're talking to God, Jesus. I know when I was going through one of my biggest hardships in my life, every day, multiple times a day, I would get down on my knees by my bed and I would imagine that I was just laying my head on Jesus's lap and he was just like stroking my head like a father, and just like, Valerie, it's going to be okay. And I would just pour out tears, and I survived because I had those talks. Look, it's even bringing it up. I survived because I had that. So just talking it out with somebody like, oh my gosh, this just happened. My body's doing this. This is how I feel. I understand that my body's trying to help me survive, and my brain is trying to help me survive. But I want to honor this. I want to treat it. I want to, give it what it needs. And so love your body. Treat it not by trashing it with alcohol or drugs or 3 pints of Ben and Jerry's or, 2 large French fries from McDonald's. Nourish it. Have a big old salad with tons of fruit on top and some lemon juice and yogurt, and have a big smoothie full of protein and fruit, or take a salt bath, or drive to your nearest stream, river, lake, or waterfall and take a swim. Let the water pour over you. Take a long shower. Go get a massage. Get a foot rub. Have a pedicure. Go to the chiropractor. Get adjusted. Get aligned. Go to your Reiki practitioner. Get some love. Do the energy work, right? Treat the body, and then treat the energy alongside. Or if you need to do it one way at a time, that's fine. But treat yourself. Honor that emotion. Move through that. Why do I feel so desperate? Why is this so scary for me? What do I need to do to move through this? Am I going to be okay? Really? In 5 years, am I going to be okay? One of the most difficult times in my life was absence from my children. When I had a car, it had a huge repair that was more than a transmission, right? So I got a different car, and it did the same thing. And that's when something clicked, and I was like, I feel like maybe I'm supposed to be doing some work here, because the same thing, what's the likelihood that this would have happened? It actually happened 3 times in a row. My previous brand new car also had the same issue. And then the 2 used cars. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to reflect here. This is like a sign, like a pattern, like something I need to learn. And that's when I began to take it seriously. And back then, stuff used to have to beat me over the head to get me to take it seriously. I would fight through with every bit of adrenaline and masculine energy and warrior mentality. I would fight. And I would it's okay, I can take it. I can do it. And I would use all of that human energy to push through. And I wouldn't see the signs. So that's the next thing. Once you've dealt with the physical piece and the mental health piece, you've honored it, you've moved through it, you've treated yourself, then begin to go into that spiritual realm and ask, like, what is it that I can grow from here? And in 5 years, is this moment in time, what for me it was, I can't see my kids this week. And I mean, that just tore my heart into 1,000 pieces. And in 5 years, is that going to have ruined my life? Can I survive this? Can I get through this? Let's look at this from a bird's eye view and see what's really happening here. And then go within and say, what can I learn from this? And I promise that if you will look at contrast in your life, you will look at the things that happen when someone you love is sick, you have a debt, your business project goes down the tubes, nothing's working at the office, and on and on. We all have stuff that goes wrong, and it's different for all of us, and different things mean different things to all of us. But when these things happen, when you can look at it and recognize it, move through it, honor your emotions, and then ask, like, okay, how can I grow from this? How can I be a better me from this? What is this teaching me emotionally, mentally, spiritually, ethereally? What can I grow from in this? Soon, when these things start to happen, your heart doesn't break any less. If I found out today that my kids had to go do something and I couldn't see them for a week, my heart wouldn't be any less sad. But my capacity to continue my expansion and my capacity to heal and respect it and move through it and learn from it just grows so much more infinitely, right? It just expands infinitely. And so, like the balloon, you're stretching. You see the contrast, you stretch. You see the contrast, you stretch. You blow up the balloon a little bit, you stretch. It's just ways to help you stretch as you grow. So you have your eye on the prize. It's retirement. It's you're taking your mom on a 2-week Caribbean cruise. It's buying a new car. It's whatever it is for you, right? It's whatever these goals are for you. It's traveling, whatever, building a pool. It's not the end of the world when stuff goes wrong. And when we are able to continue that expansion, we've blown up that balloon enough that we can then expand and move through it. It becomes so much more natural and innate and easy to look at the contrast, move through this cycle, continue up the emotional scale, and thrive. And you don't ask yourself, what am I doing wrong anymore? Because in this moment, right now, I am in the perfect place on my path. And everything that is working in the world is working toward my, stamina on this path. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for my highest good. And so instead of going from joy to depression and fear, you go from joy to, frustration, or joy to neutrality. And like, okay, now I've got to get my shit back together again. Is it all just hit the fan? Let's get it all back down and expand, expand, expand. Continue to expand. Consciousness, love, spirituality, growth, compassion, giving back. And when all else fails and you just can't get it together, find someone who's one step behind you and see how you can help them. Because usually when we help someone else move toward where we are, our heart is so full and we feel so alive and awake and grateful and appreciative. And we shoot right back up that emotional scale and get right back on our path. And remember that everything's always working out for me. Feeling good is the work. And I'm doing it. And I'm living my dream. And I have all of these things I'm appreciative of. And this thing will work itself out. It will be okay. It's not another nail in my coffin. It's another puff on my balloon. It's another little stretch on my balloon of expansion. Right? So you're not doing anything wrong. Right, Stubby? Tell him. Say, You're not doing anything wrong, friends. It's okay. Everything's going to work out for you. It's all right. Yes? So have a beautiful day, and I love you. Thank you for being my friend, and thank you for listening to me rambling on about your fabulousness. Have a beautiful day.